Hey y'all, it's Dawn. This is part 2 of my series that I'm doing on seed starting. So today's video is going to be about the seed supplies that I use and one that I'm going to get rid of. All right, let's jump in, and I'm just going to go with the flow. As I see stuff, I'm going to pull it up and show you. So the first thing I think is a must-have when I'm starting my vegetables is a tray. This is just the bottom of a sale tray. It has a lot of purposes. This is what I will put my starter pots in and line up to bottom water. Now, if you don't have one of these, and you want to save a little bit of money before you get some of these, let me show you an alternative. Ta-da! Look at this. This is just a plastic tray. In fact, it looks like I must have got it at the thrift store because it's marked 75 cents. So this works. Any type of tray that you can put your sale trays on that you can bottom water from works. So it doesn't have to be one of these. I just happen to have those because I do use bigger sale trays. So with that said, let's talk about what we would put in that. All right, when Mr. Daydream started his first garden like 10 years ago in the house we used to live in, he started everything in solo cups. And not even the big ones. He cut them down. In fact, this one says cucumber. Last year, I actually still use these. These were quick for me. They didn't take a lot of dirt. I could get my plants started and get them into the ground. Perfect. This is cheap. This is what, a couple of bucks? Put that with one of these. Yeah, this will hold 12 cups. That's a lot of vegetables to start right there. I mean, think about if you did 6 tomato plants, or look. So Mr. Daydream's on a jalapeno kick. So we figured it up today. In order for him to have enough jalapenos to last him for a year, I've got to start 15 plants. So this would hold 12 of them. That's not bad. Yeah, that's cheap. So alternative to that. Second piece is, let's talk about the different sale trays, and then I'm going to talk about individuals. So I use a variety of sale trays just because of the things that I'm growing. Usually I start most things that I'm doing on a large scale. So right now I have, I'm growing some toothache plants. Oh God, they're so pretty. They're flowers for hanging baskets. So that's in one of the bigger trays. And I have some petunia started, and I think I'm going to start some verbena. I'm not sure. I got to go check. But those would go into one of these. This is a 128 cell count tray. That's all it is. And all it means is there's 128. And normally you can look at the bottom. I don't know, this is probably real. I don't know if you can see it. It'll tell you what it is, so you don't have to count. So this one is a 128. This is what I started my Lysianthus in. So this is what they started in and lived in for several months before I potted them up into that bigger tray. Now, I love these. My other ones that I have is a 72. That's what I had just moved my eucalyptus up into, was a 72. But now I'm kind of kicking myself because, hold on, I really should have went with a 50. A 50 is much bigger, and that eucalyptus isn't going to go out for a little while into the raised beds, so I probably should have put them in a 50, and I still may do that, and I will show you how I do that. But this is a 50, and then I also have my 24. Now, my 24 is a little bit different. This is what I did put the rest of those eucalyptus in that made it outside, because I wanted them to have as much space as they could until I could get them into the ground. But this one I really use for my grow your own kits. If I have a custom order, so I had somebody reach out to me, they want to do a small cut garden in their, sound like I said Gordon, no, garden, at their house. And so I'm going to do her a tray of, I don't know, maybe sunflowers. I'm going to put some things in here, zinnias, when it's time. And then she'll just buy the tray and she'll go home and plant them. I did these last year and people really seem to like them. So had a couple more requests, but that's what this one's for, because it is much deeper. But if you are a new home gardener and you are just starting vegetables, you may want something that size if you just want to start and that's what you want to put your squash in. You know, those are the plants that get big. Your squash, your cucumber, watermelon, cantaloupe. If you're starting those, that would be a good size. Next up, I also recycle, reuse. So anytime I buy something at the store, I save it. I save the plant, what it comes in. Actually, some of these came from, I have a friend of mine who was cleaning in her garage, called and said, hey, I've got a bunch of these. Do you want them? Yes. Yes, I do. Same thing with these. These are a great size as well. You see, they're starting to kind of give way. Very important with all of these black cell trays, you do not leave them in the sun. The sun just disintegrates them. They will crack, and they will just fall apart on you. So make sure you're storing them away from the sun, really out of the elements if you can. They stay in the stem shed. I actually have them on top of my grow lights. Next up, speaking of vegetables, I start a lot in this. This is a 6-pack. So if I am going to sell tomatoes or peppers or whatever in a 6-pack, this is what I would use. Again, these fit into the black cell tray, so I can bottom water those and keep them together. So these are great. I actually think I got these on Amazon. Which leads me to these little pots. I found these little pots at a dollar store here. This is a 3-inch pot, and then I found the 4-inch ones online. So let me tell you why I'm using these. Because I am selling to the public, I wanted my plants to look a little bit classier. I know, plants really look classy. And so I just like the way that these look. Also, what I said to people were, if you keep these and you bring them back, I will take off 50 cents off of your next plant. So if I am selling a starter for $4 and they bring this back, I keep a running record. They buy more, it's $3.50. So it's kind of an incentive. It helps just reusing. And so yes, that has worked. Same thing I do with my vases for flowers. So what's next? Oh, all right. I'm also going to show you these. Hold on. Okay. Here are some other things that I've used to start seeds in. These are, again, from the dollar store. I just drilled holes in the bottom so that they had drainage. Another one that I use. This actually started eucalyptus in last year, I believe. Maybe. Oh no, this was my portulacas. I started portulacas in here. Because that seed is really small. And that's what I used in here. Now, these big black ones, they come with domes. They come with big domes that sit on them. If you don't have the domes, you can use saran wrap. I will take cling wrap, just cheap cling wrap from the dollar store, and that's what I use to cover them. But I'm going to show you something that I have moved to for a lot of my vegetable starts that I really like. Hold on. What I have found myself using more and more of for my vegetables now are these. Yeah, I love these because I can control the humidity in them. So I found all of these online. They come in 3 pieces. Now that's important to know because I did see a post the other day. Somebody bought some and they didn't have this middle piece, which was like, why in the world would I just want this other pieces? So it is 3 parts, and I'm going to show you what they are. So this is a cell pack. It sits down in the tray. And it has the lid. And then it has this little dial on top that you can adjust the airflow in. So they both come like this. Let's see, what is this one? Oh, this is my giant bell pepper, which, needs watering. So this has Keystone Giant Bell Peppers, and this is my Grow Your Own. So this is going in my Grow Your Own stuff kit. So I know which one that is. I love these. I can get 9 of these on my smaller shelf under my smaller lights. I could probably get 1, 2, 3. I could probably get 20 of these on one of my big shelves. So, and there's 12 in each. There's 12 cells in each. So that's quite a bit. But I do find that immediately when I come in here to start my vegetable seeds, this is what I'm grabbing for first. So with that said, now let me take that back. Disclaimer. It is what I am starting my bell peppers, my tomatoes, my herbs. What else do I have started? Oh, and some lettuce in. But my squash and that are going to go in the bigger ones. Just because. So my squash will go into like this size. Just so I don't have to transplant them up again. Next up, what I use to soil block. So soil blocking saves a lot of space for my seedlings. I don't grow near as many vegetables as I grow flowers. So I have to be very compact in my space. I've got a compact space. I've got to be very cautious of how many I start. I need to be aware of how many can fit on a shelf. So I'm going to show you the two things that I absolutely love. First up, 10 by 14 cafeteria trays. This will hold 160 seedlings on one tray. Yeah, I love these. They're durable. They're easy for me to water. They're easy for me to drain. Favorites. Now, I said that's my favorites. I have two favorites to tie for the top. My next one, I love these trays. Out of all the trays that I have kind of tested over time, these are it. I freaking love these. They are 160 count line. These will hold 100 seedlings. So that's 100 seedlings on here. This is where I want to, this is where it's at. Here's what I'm moving away from. Styrofoam. And I will tell you why. I guess that's why we're doing the video. Duh. They are tending to break a lot easier because they're cheaply made. Yeah, they're so cheap. Now they are cheap. So if you are just starting out and you don't have a budget to spend, then yes, highly recommend. I've had these for 3 years. The other catch to this is you need to be careful if you are in a windy area and you put them out to harden off. The wind will catch these and will flip them. So that's the other thing you've got to be aware of. So they are lightweight. This one holds 60 soil blocks, 3 soil blocks, which is 60, and this one holds 2 soil blocks, which is 40. But I am moving away from this. After 3 years, 4 seasons, it's time. I am going to go ahead and spend the money to get these and just be done because I know those are going to last me a lot longer. So I am moving away from these. The other thing that I use quite a bit, masking painter's tape and a Sharpie. I just label everything with this by date, and all I put on the tray is what variety it is. So let's just say it's tomatoes, and they're the Better Boys. So I'm just going to write Better Boy on there and the date they started. That's all I'm putting on there. And that just helps me know, because I'm going to go look, because we do seed starting Saturday, right? So I know that when I go look, if this was started on this date, I'm going to go move them out in 4 to 6 weeks outside to harden off. So these two things have been, I mean, y'all, I've had this roll since I started farming, and I still have plenty left. So that is a little bit. So if you don't want to use painter's tape, you can use masking tape. Masking tape I find is very hard to pull off, and it gets stuck. In fact, I think I just saw that on one of these. Oh, see how that left? That was me pulling off last year. I finally got that masking tape off. So I'm just not a fan of the masking tape. You can use the little signs or whatever that they send with that. I've seen people use popsicle sticks down in it. Use whatever's handy. You don't have to use the painter's tape. But I just had this painter's tape, so that's why I started using it. Second, the other piece that I always use when I'm sorting my seeds is I have this cheap cafeteria bowl. Look at me knocking the dirt out of it. This is, again, got it from the thrift store. This is what I pour my seeds in, and I use this is called a Pick Me Up by Silhouette. It is what you use to weed vinyl. If you have a Cameo or any of those tools. I just didn't use it. So that's what I use. I just dip it in a little water. Works perfectly. It's just what I happen to have. Let me see. What else am I missing? Oh, watering. Let me show you what I use to water. All right, watering. Mister. I had another one that I had bought from, I don't remember. I think it was I can't even think of the name of it, but it didn't last. This I got at a little tool place outlet. No, it's not an outlet. It's a cheap tool place with a coupon. So I think I paid like $5 for it. This is a half a gallon. Love it. I actually have 2 of these. So, and then I have this just simple watering can. It is just plastic. I like it. It's easy for me to hold. Cause y'all, here's the other thing. Like, you know, I've been pretty candid about it. You know, the older I've gotten, my grip is just not what it used to be. 1, 2, I have the pain that shoots through here sometimes. So I do look for things that I can handle easily. That's not really heavy, because I do have to trek water from the house, which is not that far. I act like I'm walking a mile in the snow uphill to school right now. Let me stop. It is not very far, but I do put water. So I use one of these. Oh, I actually have 4 of these that stay in the shop. These were many moons ago. Me and Mr. Daydream actually ran a concession stand at our youth baseball park here, and this is what snowball flavoring came in. So we kept them, and now I just clean them out. I fill these with water, and that's what I bring back and forth. So we do have water for the shop. It is at the other end by his shop, but I'm not using tap water. I'm using fresh water. So I'm going to use this rainwater. So that's why I have to truck it. What else? Oh, I cannot say enough about a pot. Y'all, I have used this pot. Actually, I have 2 of them that I bought from the thrift store. Again, do y'all see a pattern here? Thrift store. And this is what I use to scoop up my potting soil with. And I will show you that in the next video when I do the recipe for both of the, for what I use for flowers and vegetables. So that will be part 3. All right, here's a couple more alternatives. If you are not ready to, if you are soil blocking and are not ready to purchase something along these lines, in addition to these, I actually bought at the same dollar store, and I use these for my soil blocking. I'm gonna tell you, I didn't care for this one because, 1, because of the shape. I know that sounds weird, but I couldn't get 2 full soil blocks on each side, so they were in a funny pattern, and I just felt like I couldn't maximize my space for as wide as this is. It just didn't. I just couldn't maximize my space, so I would not use these again. This one I did not hate. It was fine. So look around, see what you can find on a budget. All right, so there you have it. That is the things that I love and that I consider a must-have. So just to recap, my must-haves are some type of tray, whether it's the black sail tray or something like this, something that I can bottom water my vegetables, some type of vessel that I can plant into, whether it's a Dixie cup, whether it is recycled containers, or these little pots, vegetables, or these. Whatever you can find. Truthfully, just make sure to, and if you are doing, I didn't say that, I should have, y'all, I'm sorry. If you notice in these, we have the holes in them, so you need to make sure if you are using something like a Dixie cup or a yogurt bowl, whatever it is you want to use, make sure you you put holes in the bottom so that the water drains, and that you can bottom feed them. For my flowers, I mean, I am simplifying my life. I am going with these and the big cafeteria trays, and I'm going to be done with that. So if you want to share some ideas of what you're planting your vegetables in that I didn't cover here, please comment. If you are soil blocking and you have something else that you're using to put your seedlings on, let me know. So thank you for being here. Part 3 will be out shortly. It will be and we'll go over the potting mixes.